ain't lived what I've lived through. Ain't a joke, I won't hit you. Can't relate to what I've been through, nah. If you ain't lived it, you won't get it. Like a dead fan, no we ain't forgetting. None of y'all sending prayers to the sky. I'll be to all of the guys on the other side. With the gates to the wall, this is for all to go. We can ball till we fall, we gon' make it. Never fake it, stop hating. Fuck what you saying. Yeah, they gon' analyze the track. Kinda like a fiend when they analyze the pack. Yeah, I'm back, doing what I'm supposed to. Need some help, then I can coach you. Can't relate to what I've been through. If you ain't lived what I've lived through, ain't a joke, I won't kid you. Can't relate to what I've been through. Can't relate to what I've been through. If you ain't lived what I've lived through, ain't a joke, I won't kid you. Can't relate to what I've been through. If they see me in the ICU, I just came here to visit you. What they really wanna do, yeah, what you wanna do. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm asking. They asking about this beat, but this beat I body bagged it. Coroner then tagged it. Now I get this package released to the masses. Let them know I'm savage. Yeah, I done been in Twinsburg. Doctor told my mama when I was born that I was cursed. Told my mama I was cursed. Told my mama I was cursed. Can't relate to what I've been through. If you ain't lived what I've lived through, ain't a joke, I won't kid you. Can't relate to what I've been through. Can't relate to what I've been through. If you ain't lived what I've lived through, ain't a joke, I won't kid you. Can't relate to what I've been through.
Go ahead and call me a coward, say that I'm not strong because I'm not like you. Go ahead and call me crazy because I live in the maze. Tell me how about you? I think I live with my head, sometimes I think that I'm dead. I hide behind my youth. No, I lose my mind and I'm a little behind. Step aside my shoes, cause I've never been happy with myself. And I don't need no one feeling bad for me, trying to offer me pity and throw jabs at me. Wanna give me advice and then laugh at me behind closed doors. Just close the door and let me be by myself, just me and myself. I'm tired of living, I cry, every easy to die, I wanna see for myself. And I know that sounds crazy to everyone else, but I'm depressed as fuck, stressed as fuck. Ain't no medicine that cures tests, drugs I need. I need extra love, and that ain't even enough. Cause that ain't even enough, and what the fuck is God? Damn, maybe I ain't believing enough, but today we gon' see if he's real. And if he is, then I guess I'm probably going to hell. Look, I ain't wanna die like this, I ain't picture my life like this. They don't know what it's like this. Pretend I'm happy so I can smile like this and laugh like you. Sometimes I wonder if I ever act like you. Could I finally fit in and maybe relax like ooh? Or would you feel lost without me? Cause honestly I think the world is better off without me and my mind spinning. This is the line finished. Truth is I don't care how they feel about my feelings. I made up my mind. I'm going out like Robert Williams. I guess I'm not the ordinary people of John Legend. And I've been suicidal since day I was 9. Shit. Okay, today I was 9. I've been tired of being bullied, couldn't stay out the fire. Grandma told me I should take it one day at a time. Damn it, look at me now. Fuck. Pen running out. Look, it's no new day, but if you're reading this, then it's probably too late. Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. Sorry, but it's today. Sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. Sorry, but I can't take. Sorry, so much waiting on me. Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. Sorry, but it's today. Sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. Sorry, but I can't take. Sorry. finally happy, it's too late for you. Been going out of my mind, you don't know how many times that I prayed for you. I hope you hear me, goddamn, because I got so much shit that I want to say to you. I just shine down more than the dark. I remember how you say you follow your heart, but goddamn it, look at you now, it's all your fault, I could you. Maybe it's my fault. I should have paid more attention to what you been doing. Maybe I should have been more of an influence. I can't believe that you did. I read your letter and all I could do is have mixed feelings about it. But I'll forever be attached to you. Damn. Part of me feels bad for you. A part of me feel like you weak and I'm mad at you. And now I mean to be insensitive, but I don't understand how we couldn't prevent this shit. You took the easy way out. Goddamn it, you did. I mean, look what you did. I'm so fucking upset. How could you be so selfish? Nigga. How could you be so selfish? Now you're gone, you didn't let me be so helpless. I wonder what God thinks. I hope you in God's place behaving yourself. Yo, what the fuck you gotta say to yourself? Look, I really feel lost without you. I hate that you think the world is better off without you. My mind spinning. This is the line finish. Truth is, I don't care how you feel about my feelings. And I'm not lying to you. I told you if I'm listening, I know that you can hear me. All I need is like 5 minutes. I just wanna bring inside the casket and pull you out. Sorry, it's something that we both could figure out. I wish I could hear you now. It's just so innocent. One day they could do it again. Would you do it different? Tell me what death is like. Was it meant for you, Brody? Did you have to support it? Are you fucking happy now? Did you get what you wanted? Is this what you wanted? I feel the temperature's falling and you get suicidal back then you were not. Yeah, even back then you was not. We was living on the edge, couldn't stay out the fire. Grandma told us we should take it one day at a time, and damn it, look at you now. But it's a new day, and if you can't hear me, then it's probably too late. Fuck!
Just make sure you tell my family it's okay. Sorry, but it's too late. Sorry, so much waiting on me. I don't wanna live to see another day. Sorry, but I can't stay. Sorry, so much waiting on me. Just make sure you tell my family.
treating your customers like pieces of shit. Because that's how I felt when I went to the Alamo Draft House. Okay? You know what? I didn't know that was okay in your little crappy ass theater. It was too dark in that place for me to find my seat. Alright? I was using my phone and get to my seat. So excuse me for using my phone in the USA, in the United States of America, where you are free to text in a theater. I was not aware that I could text in your theater, alright? I texted in all the other theaters in Austin, and no one ever gave a fuck about what I was doing on my phone, alright? And it was on silent. It wasn't on loud. It wasn't bothering anybody. You guys, obviously, were being assholes to me, and I'm sure that's what you do, you know, to rip people off. You take my money, and then you throw me out. You know, I will never be coming back to your Alamo Draft House or whatever. I'd rather go to a regular theater where people are actually polite. And, you know, I'm going to tell everyone about how you are. And I'm pretty sure you guys are being on purpose. So thanks for making me feel like a customer. Thanks for taking my money.
chocolate. You should be very proud, Detective.
Shut up.
You've made a delicious life for yourself.
Said shut the fudge up. What?
You don't come near here. You stay away from here.
Here he comes.
What?
Are you listening, David? I was saying how much I admire you and your ice creams. You have incredible taste in fine ice creams.
What the fudge did you just say?
6 delicious flavors. They're so lovely. And once they're gone, David, they're gone.
David, step away from the prisoner. Step away, David. Step away.
What's in the box?
I'm not gonna tell you until
What's in the box? What's in the box?
We each have our weaknesses. It appears that gluttony is my sin of choice. And you add the mystery. I couldn't resist.
What's in the malted fudging box?
It's empty, David. It's empty.
No. It was full. 6 delicious flavors. Only available this month.
I know. It was delivered to your home. It was delectable.
Do you think anybody's gonna get, like, offended by this?
Just tall white Karens.
Monotony. It comes in all shapes and sizes. Dull, tedious, just plain boring. But what is this? A contender, perhaps? Something unboring by the looks of it. Jabs right at dull, an uppercut to tedium, something that keeps you on your toes, keeps your head on a swivel. A knockout punch to your old, boring workouts. Welcome to Fight Camp.
The Greening the Gateway Cities program provides trees that are planted by DCR foresters and crews hired from local communities. When you sign up as a potential tree recipient, a forester will visit your home or business to determine the best location and species of tree for maximum energy efficiency. Easy care instructions are provided, and it's all free. Find out if you are in the zone and learn more at maurbancanopy.org.
Shaolin shadow boxing and the Wu-Tang sword style. If what you say is true, the Shaolin and the Wu-Tang could be dangerous. Do you think your Wu-Tang sword can defeat me?
On guard. I'll let you try my Wu-Tang style.
Same with you. Same with you.
Shaolin shadow boxing, and the Wu-Tang sword style. If what you say is true, the Shaolin and the Wu-Tang could be dangerous. Do you think your Wu-Tang sword can defeat me?
On guard. I'll let you try my Wu-Tang style.
Same with you. Same with you.
Oscar Mike Radio is a proud podcast partner of Reach Across America Radio, heard every Thursday at 11 a.m. and Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern. They're also big supporters of the nonprofit I Got Your Six, Two Lives at Once. And with every wreath you sponsor through Oscar Mike Radio, $5 goes back to this great organization dedicated to making a difference in the lives of veterans, law enforcement, firefighters, and first responders battling PTSD. Two Lives at Once pairs these brave men and women together with dogs rescued from kill shelters. In this way, two lives are saved at the same time by saving each other. Donate now. Go to reachacrossamerica.org/Oscar Mike Radio to help. That's reachacrossamerica.org/Oscar Mike Radio.
This campaign is about a new vision where our streets are safe, our schools are succeeding, and our local economy is growing. I stand here not as a candidate for mayor, but as a lifelong member of this great city. There will no longer be the city side and the school side. There will only be the Brockton side. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work.
As Councillor at Large, Jean Bradley has consistently fought for all of Brockton's residents by advocating for quality education, community policing, better senior services, empowering young people, helping small businesses, and by being a voice for our most vulnerable. As Mayor, Jean Bradley will continue fighting tirelessly for every single Brockton resident. On September 16th, we're asking you to make the choice for a better, safer, and stronger city. Vote for Jean Bradley Derenoncourt, Mayor of Brockton.
I'm Jean Bradley Derenoncourt, and I approve this message.
Grew up and graduated from Brockton High, built my career here, and today I'm a proud homeowner and now Vice President of Northeastern Savings Bank, serving the community that helped raise me. Access, opportunity, and results. That's what I stand for, and that's what works, and that's what I'll bring to the City Council here in Brockton.
At the risk of repeating myself, I'm going to say again, in plain, down-to-earth terms, speak as though you're under the power of the ultimate spirit in the universe, the ultimate mind, the ultimate force. Speak as though you're under that power, and speak to these people as though they represent the ultimate. They are the force, they are all creation, they're God, they're all creatures that live. We are singing in a chorus, all our voices. So listen with your entire being to these people, because they are coming from the center of their being. Something beyond all words, even the word God, because you can't name this.
Growing up in Mission Hill, Boston, my parents early on raised me to know about community, to know about community leadership, the positive role models like Brother Blue, Melnia Cass, and Mel King. Community leaders who inspired growth, community leaders who inspired the next step. Well, I'm Keith Hayes, and I'm running to become Ward 5's growth into the next step.
Master Yoda I am. And listen you must to hoobazoo.com.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Yeah.
Can you dig it?
You like some motherfucking action heroes in it. Yeah.
This is blasphemy. This is madness. This is a proof.
The twisted mind of my literature designed to get into the depths of your mind, administer sickness around to mimic the likes of snuff cinema. What you must get into, you're nothing but pups. Remember you Homer and Happy Simpson, son. Nothing Ithaca. Talkers like the northern half of Korea's peninsula. ESP your island like the booth, something sinister. ESP your island like the booth, something sinister. ESP your island like the booth, something sinister.
All right, your boy Sinister One broadcasting live from the City of Champions. You are watching The Booth. It is September 9th, 2025. I know we're here a little early on the air. That's because we've got the big mayor debate tonight down at venue 727 on Warren Ave. And tonight I've got some special interviews that was done by my man Travis Partington of Oscar Mike Radio. So I got to give Travis a big shout out for doing all these interviews. I got to thank everybody who came out that was in the chat and linked up with him to be able to, get these interviews done, to make sure we talk about this on the show, making sure people are informed. It doesn't matter what your opinion is or who you're voting for. The key here is to be informed, make a decision, and to vote. The key here is to vote, because here in the Brockton area, we don't vote. Numbers are way down. It's nothing to be happy about. There are people who come out to vote, but the numbers are for a city of over, for as many people we have, it's not something to be happy about. We need to have more people turn up at the polls. One of the reasons why we have so many elections every year decided by very, very small margins is because we have a low voter turnout, and that's kind of the things that happen. So let me get into my sponsors on the show real quick. Michael Douglas Barreto, MDB Electronics. If you need a controller fixed, reach out to Michael D. Barreto. These are Xbox controllers. He also does repairs on Xbox One Elite controllers also. So make sure to reach out to him and check him out and let him know you saw him here on the show. Also, Veana Marie, it's personal, available everywhere. 494,000 streams. Make sure to check that out, her music out, and give her those support. Tactical target systems. Those are those zombie targets, life-size zombie targets that you see me with at the range. When I'm at the range, reach out to Don Robinson at tacticaltargetsystem.com. And then I Love Boston Sports. Those are the shirts that you see people that were wearing shirts. That's my man Marlon Williams down at South Shore Plaza. See a lot of Patriots players and Celtics and Bruins, Red Sox players shirts. I Love Boston Sports.com. Then and Empowerment Photography, ladies, if you want to take some pictures you ever thought that you would take, out to Kimberly Ann, Empowerment Photography, and she'll be nice, feeling in the right place, and you can take pictures for thought you would never take. Also, Underwatch Protective Services, Mob Patrol, Foot Patrol, Armed Guards, Unarmed Guards, Event Security, and Private Security. Reach out to my man Daryl Smith if you done. Black-owned business, bonded and licensed. Underwatch Protective Services. My buddy call Larry, Handyman Services, 774-826-6549. There's his email right there. He can come around and do some of the small tasks, around the house, things like that. Reach out to him. If you have something you think he might be able to do, he'll be able to answer you and set that up. So call Larry, Handyman Services. And then turn him in. Turn him in the news booth. Top story every week until this man is caught. Turn him in. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but you got to get this man turned in. Hold on, let me get. Turn him in. Wanted for murder here in Brockton. Turn him in. Leonard, turn him in. We need him turned in. We need to have this guy turned in because this is one of those things where he's been on the streets for a minute at risk. We've got 2 people in jail already because of this. And what they did was they harbored him. They're now doing time. They were denied bail. You would think that would have somebody open up their mouths and turn this guy in. It did. Again, turn him in. And as I said, we've got no topics tonight because I got to give you guys all these interviews that everybody turned in. Like I said, tonight's the mayoral debate at 727, venue 727 on Warren Ave. It's right there behind the courthouse. Get your tickets on Eventbrite. I don't know if they shut the Eventbrite down yet, but that's where you were able to get tickets to attend tonight's event. Able to see candidates in action here tonight. What I want to do, like I said, today I want to get into these interviews from Travis Partington from Oscar Mike Radio. He handled these interviews for me, and these are some great interviews. I want to thank all the candidates who reached out to me and got on. We will be doing second batches of interviews after the preliminaries, which is next Tuesday. Boston's election was today, heading into November. Boston had theirs today. Ours will be next Tuesday. So for those who didn't get in on this round, you still have time to get in. I'm leaving for Ohio this week, so if you send some in, there's a good chance it won't be in before the prelims. It's probably going to count towards November, and if there's anybody who doesn't make it past the 14th, we'll probably just bypass that airing that interview, just to give you guys a heads up. So, I might, if you get them in and I'm back on Sunday, I might bang them out on Sunday, in the portrait reel format that I put out. I may not air them on the show, but I may get them together and put them out so you can share them on your social media. Get emails, I'll put that in the group. So here we go. I got to get these interviews in here. This is Travis holding it down for me. Why is this not coming up? Hold on, people. Because I know I had a banner set up for this. I have a banner set up for production on the fly. Back here. Let's see what happens here. If it comes up. If refreshingness comes up. I'm going to put it up here. I'm going to put it up here for you guys because I want to get I'm going to do a little production on the fly here before we get into Oh, no, it's actually there. And I'm going to fix this. I'm going to get this in because this is very important. Just doing a little production on the fly. Just bear with me. Let's see if it comes. this. Refresh this. What happens? Little production, live production in the fly. Go. Bam. Vote. Vote. Make sure you vote. Make sure you're informed. I want to thank Travis for doing these interviews for me. Great, Travis. Good job. But here we go. These are the interviews. Make sure you're informed. Make sure you listen to what they're saying. This first batch of interviews were pretty much just kind of an introduction to who they are and why they are running. They get past next Tuesday. The interviews will be more kind of meat and potatoes type of deal. So here we go. Thanks, guys, for everybody who came on here. Here are the interviews featuring all the Brockton candidates. Not all of them, but, some of the major ones. Again, thank you, Travis Partington, for holding this down. Oscar Mike Reid. Man.
Hello, my name is Travis, filling in for Keith Hayes on assignment. This is The Booth with a different host. And this is a special edition of The Booth, as The Booth, and by extension me, talk to candidates for office in the city of Brockton, Massachusetts, the city of champions. And my first guest running for office in the city of Brockton is Stephen Pina, Ward 1 school committee. He's running for school committee of Ward 1. Stephen, welcome. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's been a good day so far. I'm excited to talk with you and let the people out there know who Stephen Pina is and why you chose to run for school committee.
Yeah, sure. So, it was a hard decision. It's always hard to go ahead and take that dive into politics, looking at putting everything out there. But, there's so many issues going on with the budget, school safety, the National Guard trying to be called in, the budget deficits. I mean, there's just so much going on that I just couldn't stand on the sideline anymore. So I had, I have years of experience in the federal government, years of experience in the military, years of experience fixing issues like this. And I had a surgery about a year ago now on my back, so I've been kind of laid up for a while, and it just so happened that I started to get back going and on my feet and moving around and doing what I needed to do. And it just seemed like a perfect time to run. I have 4 kids that are in the school system, all student athletes. I was a student athlete, played football at Brockton High, and so I know what it's like to have a championship team in a championship city.
So to be clear, you born, raised, well, maybe not born, but grown up, raised, and live in the city of Brockton.
I was born, raised. The only time that I spent away from Brockton was when I was in college. The 6 years I was in the Army, and then maybe 4 years that I was down in Atlanta working for the VA.
What is it about the city of Brockton that you love so much, Stephen?
Yeah, people ask me that all the time. They're like, why in the heck did you come back here? And it's easy, man. It's there's such a rich history. There's so much that people just don't even look at, like the fighters that we've had here, Marciano and Hagler. Even going further back, you're looking at Thomas Edison and everything that he did in the city of Brockton. Go back and you're looking at the shoe industry and what the shoe industry did in World War I. And then, you keep going even further back and you're looking at the Underground Railroad and everything that the Underground Railroad, came through Brockton. It's like Brockton has always been a city that championed the right cause, a city that looked at what was going on in the world and tried to make things better. And we've always persevered and we've always been knocked down, but we always get back up.
So getting back up, there are many issues surrounding the school. What would you tell people that you are going to do to, start addressing those issues, or the value you can add as a school committee member?
Yeah, so I have a plan. I have a 4 pillars that I'm going to work off of, and then a Champion City project, which you can go to championcityproject.com and you can take a look at my entire plan. but they're based off of four pillars, and those four pillars are back to basics, back.
Hello, my name is Travis, filling in for Keith Hayes on assignment. This is The Booth with a different host. And this is a special edition of The Booth, as The Booth, and by extension me, talk to candidates for office in the city of Brockton, Massachusetts, the city of champions. And my first guest running for office in the city of Brockton is Stephen Pina, Ward 1 School Committee. He's running for school committee of Ward 1. Stephen, welcome. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Doing great. It's been a good day so far. I'm excited to talk with you and let the people out there know who Stephen Pina is and why you chose to run for school committee.
Yeah, sure. So, it was a hard decision. It's always hard to go ahead and take that dive into politics, looking at putting everything out there. But there was so many issues going on with the budget, school safety, the National Guard trying to be called in, the budget deficits. I mean, there's just so much going on that I just couldn't stand on the sideline anymore. So I had I have years of experience in the federal government, years of experience in the military, years of experience fixing issues like this, and I had a surgery about a year ago now on my back, so I've been kind of laid up for a while, and it just so happened that I started to get back going and on my feet and moving around and doing what I needed to do, and it just seemed like a perfect time to run. I have four kids that are in the school system, all student athletes. I was a student athlete, played football at Brockton High, and so I know what it's like to have a championship team in a championship city.
So to be clear, you born, raised, well, maybe not born, but grown up, raised, and live in the city of Brockton.
I was born, raised. The only time that I spent away from Brockton was when I was in college. The 6 years I was in the Army, and then maybe 4 years that I was down in Atlanta working for the VA.
What is it about the city of Brockton that you love so much, Stephen?
Yeah, people ask me that all the time. They're like, why in the heck did you come back here? And it's easy, man. It's there's such a rich history. There's so much that people just don't even look at, like the fighters that we've had here, Marciano and Hagler. Even going further back, you're looking at Thomas Edison and everything that he did in the city of Brockton. Go back and you're looking at the shoe industry and what the shoe industry did in World War I. And then, you keep going even further back and you're looking at the Underground Railroad and everything that the Underground Railroad, came through Brockton. It's like Brockton has always been a city that championed the right cause, a city that looked at what was going on in the world and tried to make things better. And we've always persevered and we've always been knocked down, but we always get back up.
So getting back up, there are many issues surrounding the school. What would you tell people that you are going to do to, start addressing those issues, or the value you can add as a school committee member?
Yeah, so I have a plan. I have a 4 pillars that I'm going to work off of, and then a Champion City project, which you can go to championcityproject.com and you can take a look at my entire plan. But they're based off of 4 pillars, and those 4 pillars are back to basics, back to excellence, and that is looking at we hold students accountable, teachers and administrators accountable for results. We win. Focus on core academics, reading, writing, science, civics, and then honest reporting, no watering down grades or performance. Then the next one is safe schools, safe classrooms. Secure perimeters and facilities, enforce consistent discipline, and back up teachers when need be. The third one is fiscal accountability and honest communication. We got to get the parents and the community back their trust after what had happened. I hope that doesn't ever happen again. But if it does, I mean, there's got to be wholesale change when you're not able to attract millions upon millions of dollars. When this is a city that has a budget of a little bit north of 600 million, so you got to be able to track that money. Every dollar should be tracked. And then the last thing is, real world readiness. And this is a key one for me. I think this is really important. So we got to have kids ready. We got to teach them civics. We got to teach them personal finance. We got to teach them how to sign their name again. We got to get back to writing in cursive. Life skills, stronger vocational and technical pathways. A stronger STEM academy, or TAG, what we call it here, TAG, early college opportunities. There's no reason why now kids cannot get an associate's degree before they graduate high school, which seems insane. But my ninth grader is already taking college courses. Okay. And then bring back the basics and make sure that people are ready to lead. So, they should be ready, different pathways, college, the military, technical, or, just going and learning what they need to be able to do for themselves. So that's kind of those are my 4 pillars. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to be a rubber stamp. I'm not going to be with the current administration, and I cannot get along and go along with what's going on, what the mayor's doing, how this spending is out of control, and how the school committee has not been able to control that whatsoever. So I will not be a rubber stamp like they are right now.
So just as we wind this down, I mean, you're going to have to work with the rest of the school committee to raise the level, as you say. What's your plan to do that, or how will you approach collaboration to, mitigate these issues?
That's a great question, Travis. And I'll tell you right now, I've always been one that gets along. I've always been one that's been able to talk. I've always liked to talk. And I think the difference with me is that I can see where you and I, or me and another school committee member, where our priorities align. Not everybody's priorities are going to align all the time.
Right.
It's just never going to happen. But I'm going to make sure that I find where those meet. And I learned that from my years of being a leader and being able to manage hundreds of people under me, to be able to have some of the best satisfaction scores in the federal government. And I will continue to do that. And I've always done that. And I teach my 4 kids how to do that now, because it's a key aspect on how you get along and how you get things done in real life.
So just, we're both veterans.
Mm-hmm.
Brockton has, a rich history of supporting veterans.
Yeah.
And part of that starts in the school, and one, making sure the students understand our history, but 2, understand, that there is an expectation of service. How do you think you're going to be able to communicate that to these students who, if they get exposed to it, really do want to impact their community?
Yeah. Yeah. So what's really great is my son and my daughter, my twins, they're both in the JROTC program in Brockton. Great program. They do great things. I've talked to them multiple times. The colonel, the sergeant major that's over there, the sergeant that's over there. What I would say to that is this: look, the city has an opportunity where, if you're a disabled veteran, you can work off 1,000 hours, right? I'm sorry, $1,000 worth off of your tax.
Right.
So I would look at, and I propose, getting some of those veterans to come into the schools, to get into the schools, put them in positions where, it's obviously very part-time, to be able to mentor, to be able to look at how we can utilize them, because there are so many veterans that never get the opportunity to actually use that benefit, or end up picking up trash on the side of the library or side of the Veterans Memorial. So it's something that, those are one of the things. And it's different because I have that experience where I've been in the veteran community, in that veteran world, in the benefit world. So I know a little bit more about everything that goes along with that. Not only that, but what kind of an asset veterans are because of the experiences that they've had in their lives.
How can people connect with you, Stephen, about your campaign, your platform, and again, your vision for students in the city of Brockton?
Yeah, you can find me on the internet. My website is votepina.com, VOTEPINA, and all of my social handles are all Vote Pina.
All right. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen Pina, Brockton resident, U.S. Army veteran, and now candidate for school committee in Ward 1. Stephen, thank you very much for joining the booth tonight.
Appreciate it.
Hello and welcome back. My name is Travis Partington, filling in for Keith Hayes, host of the booth during this election period in Brockton, Massachusetts, the city of champions. And I have a champion here, Sandra Centeio, running for school committee of Ward 5 in Brockton, with us now on the booth. Sandra, welcome. How are you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me. I'm excited about this interview. So thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And for all of us out there, I'm not as familiar with Brockton as Keith is. Give us an idea of who Sandra is.
Well, I'm Sandra Centeio. Proud Brocktonian. I graduated from the Brockton Public Schools. Graduated from Brockton High in 2001, so a long time ago. I am mom of two kids. So I am someone that is active in our schools. I'm part of the PTA. I volunteer in our schools. Um, I have my master's in social work. I went to Bridgewater State, and that is where I earned my degree. When I was getting my master's, I had a unique opportunity to do my internship, and I did it in our school system here in Brockton, at West Middle School. Um, I came to United States in 1996. I went to East here in Brockton, Ward 5. I went to the bilingual program. After that, I went to Brockton High. That's where I graduated. So that's a little bit about me, Sandra, mom of two, and trying to make some changes.
So you have a deep connection to Brockton. I mean, it's part of, it's not just where you live, it's who you are. But what's really cemented that connection to this city we call Brockton, the city of champions?
Like I said, when I immigrated when my family, we came to America, Brockton was our new home. So I grew up in Brockton. I am a homeowner here in Brockton. So when we talk about being invested, I'm here. My kids is also part of the Brockton community. So I'm here.
You're here, you've been here, you've definitely invested in Brockton. You have children going to school in Brockton. But what was the reason you chose, Sandra, for choosing to run for school committee in Ward 5?
So Ward 5 is where I live.
Yeah.
But the reason why why I made the decision to run was the opportunity that I had to work in our school system as a social worker intern. So I was there for a whole year. When I was there, I got to see the great things that our school system are doing, and then the not so great things. Originally, I wanted to get a job in a school as a school adjustment counselor, but I decided I wanted to make more of a policy change, and that is the many reasons why I'm running, but also as a mom, right? Like I am a mom. I want the best for my children. So if I am personally advocating for my children, that means I'm also advocating for all children here in Brockton.
So being on the school committee, you will serve, the children of Brockton and by extension, their parents and the community. But how will you do that? What will you bring to the school committee that you feel is needed, Sandra?
So, but in volunteering in our school system, I'm someone that asks a lot of questions. So I've been talking with the teachers to understand, like, hey, from your perspective, what do you see as some of the issues? And one of the things that I continue to hear about is family engagement. We, as a parent, right, we're not and I would not say not all, because we do have some parents that are engaged, like myself, But, like a lot of families have work two jobs, and there's a lot that goes on that may prevent them from being as active. So one of the things that I am hearing is the lack of family engagement. So for me, as a school committee member, I plan to host a forum here on the east side where families, we can talk about what are the issues that you're seeing. Do you have any solutions? Do you have any solutions to address these issues? And then my goal is to then go into the school committee and then talk about those issues from the parent perspective and not just my perspective.
Saying all that, how do you want people to, know who you are? What do you want people to know about you, the person, Sandra Centeio, who's doing this more than, yes, you're a mom. Yes, you have investment in Brockton, but, what else do you want people to know about who you are and your connection to Brockton?
So I'm someone, I consider myself as someone that does a good job listening. So that is part of my social work, the training that I receive as a social worker. But I'm also someone that's in leadership now. So I feel like those two things is what you need to be in those seats. So someone that listens and someone that can also take a stand on positions, whether it's hard or easy, you have to make a decision. So for me, I think those are the two great skills that as a school committee that you should bring.
We're closing this down. You're out there in the community, but how can people find you, learn more about you, connect with your platform, and support you as you run for school committee member?
So I'm on social media. So for my social media platform, it's Vote, VOTE, the letter 4, Centeio, which is CENTEIO. So again, vote for Centeio. Vote for Centeio. So you'll find me that on Facebook, on IG, which is Instagram.
That's what that means? IG. You just made me be cooler.
I love that. I'm trying to be cool too. And then this is my phone number. My phone number is 508-443-4574. And then and my website is www.vote. Again, it's the letter 4, Centeio.com. So voteforcenteo.com. All of my information is the same.
Sandra, I want to thank you for coming on and allowing me to fill in for Keith Hayes at the booth. You're on the booth. You're part of Brockton. Thank you so much. We'll be, in touch with more to follow. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate this.
Good afternoon. Good evening. My name is Travis, filling in for Keith Hayes, who's on assignment for the booth. And we're talking to mayoral candidate Richard Ripley for candidate for mayor for the city of Brockton. Richard, welcome to the booth. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm Travis. Let's see. Yeah, I wanted to start by saying that most of the people in Brockton know me as a bat bus guy.
Okay.
And I believe that. I'm sorry. Did I screw up?
No. Go ahead. Go ahead. This is all you.
Okay. Most of the people know me as a bat bus guy. I believe that I'm just the kind of mayor our city needs. The city needs a new kind of mayor. We need a mayor who's actually going to tell the people the truth. I mean, I'm not a politician, so I don't owe anybody anything. In fact, I never accepted a nickel during my campaign. And I'll be the kind of mayor who will stand up with the people and fight for the people. And again, I'll never lie to the people. That said, I hope the people will forgive me and understand what I'm about to say. Before we rush to judgment and put a mayoral candidate into the seat of power, we need to pause and take a deep breath. Our city is broken. We are in the middle of an election that will determine if our city finally changes direction and moves down the path to a Brockton in which everyone benefits. But first, we must confront and talk openly and honestly about the elephant in Brockton politics: corruption. For 5.5 years, the administration, including candidates for mayor and others, have been willing partners to seize control of our money, control of our city, and control of us. They have done this through manipulation tactics, such as installing a city auditor at the recent city finance meeting at the request of the current mayor. Then they proceeded to rubber stamp the mayor's request by voting to confirm the mayor's choice without asking good questions of the candidate. This was done because the new city auditor is weak and inexperienced. This manipulation scheme will allow the new mayor and his partners to hold on to their power over us. Now, when I say partners in the city council, I'm talking about Moses Rodriguez, David Texeria, Philip Griffin, and a couple of others. What they do is they manipulate the public, and they hold on to power. I say now that this power grab must end. The days of the good old boy backslapping politics, screw the people, are over. We need to bring back the rule of law, accountability, and common sense to Brockton government. I want to say very clearly, Brockton belongs to the people. We, the people, have the power, and we need to exercise our power. Therefore, since our corrupt elected leaders, including Moses Rodriguez, will never voluntarily give up their ill-gotten power, we, the people, must reach out with both hands and grab it and take it back. I want to tell you a quick story now. As I walked around Brockton during my campaign, I noticed a malaise among the people, an overwhelming feeling of hopelessness, a feeling that nobody cares about them, that nothing will change, that the people feel defeated. This is unacceptable. It should be unacceptable. No resident of Brockton should ever be afraid to come to the mayor's office or talk to their city councilor. We must find a way to give the people hope. Now, I want to give an example of what I mean when I say I want to bring back common sense to Brockton government. What I mean by that is, first of all, that no single issue in our city is more important than the physical safety of the people. That is why I have been fighting the administration tirelessly for more than 2 years for the safety of our kids and disabled seniors to be safe on the city bus. Now, I want to let the people know that there have been 4 investigations: the city of Brockton, the Brockton Area Transit, the city bus, the Brockton Police Department, and the Massachusetts State Representative Rita Mendez have each conducted independent investigations that have all confirmed an illegal, dangerous, ongoing safety threat on Brockton Area Transit buses, and confirmed that BAT has disciplined the drivers. But the mayor and city council, including Moses Rodriguez and Jean Bradley Derencourt, who are running for office, say they have no responsibility to alert the public of this confirmed safety threat. That safety threat is confirmed in the written letter I have from the city solicitor. Recently, 2 disabled Brockton grandmothers were injured seriously enough to be hospitalized. They were sent to Boston Medical Center. Just 4 days ago, a 71-year-old disabled senior was injured on a BAT bus, and his blood was spilled. These dangerous safety threats are getting more serious. Jorge Vega and Tony Rodriguez and the entire Brockton School Committee are aware that hundreds of school students ride BAT buses to and from school every day. Yet they also say, as the rest of the city says, that they have no responsibility to alert parents of this dangerous safety threat to their kids. Now, school is starting, if I'm correct, next week. It starts in 2 separate, the high school goes first and elementary later. And these kids take these buses, the school committee, the mayor, everyone knows these kids are on those buses. Whether the parents know it or not, they are on those buses. They are being placed in harm's way, yet everyone says, no, we don't have to tell the parents. I believe this is wrong. I believe that our elected leaders have a moral, not a legal, a moral obligation to act responsibly and alert the public, including the parents of school kids, when they know that there is an actual dangerous threat. Now, now I want to ask, what is going to happen when a school student is injured on a BAT bus and the parents find out that the school committee, the mayor, the superintendent, the police chief, everybody knew, but they did not inform the parents? Our elected leaders have no right to play God and gamble with the life and safety of our kids and seniors. If there's a public safety threat, you were elected to represent and serve the people. Serve the people. I mean, if there's a safety threat and you know there's a safety threat, how you can look away and not do nothing and show no human compassion for these incidents is beyond me, because what I did is I recorded every safety threat. And I've reported them to the mayor, the city council, the BAT bus company. And I've asked BAT, the city council and the mayor and the school committee to do something for me. I'll give you the bus numbers, the dates and the times of these dangerous threats and incidents where people were injured. And you can talk to BAT manager Michael Lambert. He can set up a special showing for you, because each bus has these tapes and it's all recorded. They won't do it to the general public, but you're elected officials. You can be trusted to look at these videos, because there's people's faces on it. And you can see with your own eyes the threat that I'm trying to talk about. And you can see what I'm talking about, how dangerous this is, but they all refuse to do it. And I don't understand it, why they're protecting the bus company and putting the lives of our students, our kids, and our elderly people in danger. And next, I wanted to go into the city's financial condition. The new mayor going in was probably going to be Moses. I don't think I can stop him, but anyway, he'll probably get in. And whoever gets in, though, we can't trust any of the numbers that the city council or the mayor or the chief financial officer or the city treasurer or the city auditor give us, because we've been lied to for so long with the corruption that's been going on that we don't know what the real numbers are. We don't know where we stand financially. I mean, look what Mayor Sullivan did in the city council. They brought us to our knees in financial ruin. We were one step away from the state taking receivership of the city's finances. So we need to get a complete audit on the city side to find out where we stand. And also, Tony Rodriguez has already asked for an audit from the state auditor, Diane DeZoglio, of the school side, the school finances. So we need to get these audits done, because this is going to hang, this corruption and lies are going to hang over anything any new mayor wants to do. Now, a lot of these people running for mayor, I've listened to their speeches. They say all these great things about how we're going to sit around the campfire and sing Kumbaya, and we're all going to love each other. Brockton's going to be a great city. We're going to help everybody. Everyone's going to be one big happy family. But we're not, until we face the corruption and address the corruption that is going on. We have to face that. There's no way around that. And I'm the only mayor of Facebook channel. I've got 44 videos. I put out 3 new videos over the last few weeks about Moses Rodriguez. I tell the truth, and I'm getting hundreds of views, but I'm the only one talking about this, and we have to address this. Now, if I have any time left, if you want to ask me a question, or I'll just go into other issues.
Yeah, go into other issues at this point, please.
Okay, homelessness. I want to briefly address homelessness. I'm afraid that we need to understand that, unfortunately, there are hardcore homeless on our streets who are not Brockton residents and they don't want any help to get off the streets. They're happy being on the streets. Now, I recommend we need to work with our state and federal delegations to find a way to take these people off the streets against their will and put them in a facility or an institution where they can get the help they need. And as far as the ones that are on the streets that our Brockton residents, we need to do the best we can to help them get the help they need. And then I wanted to talk about the discrimination lawsuits in the city. We have dozens of discrimination lawsuits right now pending. That if we lose them all, it could cost the city hundreds of millions of dollars. And we need to find out why we're having so many discrimination lawsuits. And then I wanted to address another school issue. It's bullying. Now, I was bullied as a kid in school, and I've read reports from people about how kids in school in the Brockton school system are being bullied right now. Now, bullying starts in the elementary school, and when you're a victim of bullying, you feel awful. You feel like nobody cares. You feel like what did I do wrong? And you get depressed, and it affects your life. And I was lucky. I got some help when I was bullied. But we need to get these kids help, because if you don't get help, then you start thinking. I'm sorry. You start thinking about committing suicide and ending your life. And we got to pull out all the stops, and we got to protect these kids. When we hear of bullying, what we need to do is, I know it's not the kids who's doing the bullying's fault. It's the way they were brought up with their parents. But we need to understand it. We need to get those kids out of the school, get them somewhere where they can talk to someone and discuss and find out, get them to stop bullying, explain to them that bullying is wrong. You can ruin someone's life. Next, let's see, another issue we can talk about is the city roads. We need to stop doing this patchwork in the city roads, and you keep filling them, and then the same things happen again. We need to do more aggressive steps. The streets need to be dug up to the bottom. They need to have special. It need to be done with cement and everything, and then they need to be resurfaced properly. We also need to do the sidewalks, include the sidewalks, and get that all done. But we can only do like maybe 1 or 2 streets at a time. But we need to start that process and work on one street at a time. Downtown, we need to get a two-way two-way Main Street downtown. I know it's going to be a long-term solution, but no developer is going to come into Brockton. They avoid Brockton like the plague because of the crime, the roads, the homelessness, the shoplifting. They have to shut their stores down because so much shoplifting. And we need to address that, because if we want developers to come here, we got to make the city attractive. And we're not doing that. And we need to do that if we want to make the city attractive. Another issue. I said that. I did that. Discrimination laws. Oh, the fact that the city has the liabilities. We had to take out a $350 million loan to address the city's liabilities. We were missing money, because the money we pay our school, the staff when they retire. And it cost $350 million, and which brought up our long-term city debt to a 30-year debt to, I think it's about close to maybe $750 million. Now, that's not going to affect us, because anyone 40 years or older, it's too late. Your life's over. We got to think of our kids. Our kids are going to have to pay back that, our kids and our grandkids. And we got to find a way to, I know we're locked in under the law now with the benefits we have to offer because it's a state thing, but we need to find a way to address so we don't have to pay so much. I mean, I want every city employee and retired city employee to live a good life, to have your retirement, have your health care, have your food. I don't want you to deny you anything. But we got to realize that what we're putting on the backs of the people in the city. The majority of people in this city, they having trouble putting food on the table. And now we're facing $350 million we got to pay back so the people who work for the city and retire can live a great life. We have to address that. There's got to be ways to cut back on that so we don't, put all this money on the backs of the people who are trying to make a living. Do I have any time left?
No, you've had like 3 times the amount of time. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. You should have stopped me.
Well, no problem. Keith will cut it as he sees fit. Richard, how can people connect with you and your campaign and learn more about you?
You can give them my email. It should be it's there in the city election commission. It's there with the OCPF, the Massachusetts election stuff. But I can give it to you. It's my first name, Richard. Oh, you have it. Right?
So it's this Richard
61733.
Yep, at gmail.com.
Gmail.
Okay.
Well, you can give them my phone number. 720 435
47
12. 4712.
4712. Well, Richard, I want to thank you.
Anybody can call me anytime.
Sure.
I know I talk kind of fast, but there's a lot I wanted to get in.
Well, there'll be another interview. Richard, we want to thank you for coming on the booth. Wish you all the best with your run for mayor of Brockton, and we encourage everybody to follow the election process. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Welcome back. My name is Travis Partington, filling in for Keith Hayes on assignment for his show, The Booth. You can watch The Booth with Keith Hayes on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I am filling in for him, and I have my next guest, Gary Keith, running for City Council in Ward 3 for the city of Brockton, Massachusetts, the City of Champions. Gary, welcome to The Booth.
Travis, thank you, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So for all of us out there, I'm in Abington and around the cities, kind of tell us, who is Gary Keith?
Well, I'm a husband, a father to 7, a grandfather to 12, a 35-year resident of the city of Brockton, former business owner. I sat on the planning board and the zoning board for 4 years each. And I've been running and serving in the city of Brockton since 2013. I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I'm a deacon, and I just love serving.
So you've done it all, and you don't look a day over 40. I mean, amazing.
I like you, Travis. I like you.
Well, we got the same haircut, but I'm like, I hope we look half that good. And I don't have 7 kids.
Yes.
So you have a deep connection to Brockton. What is it about Brockton that makes you compelled to serve in this way, Gary?
It's funny, Travis, because when I first started running, I started back in 2013. I ran because I didn't see anybody really doing anything. Okay. So, of course, you want to roll up your sleeves and, say to the coach, hey, coach, put me in. It's time to put me in the game. So I rolled up my sleeves. I started getting involved, and to try to make a difference, because sometimes it only starts with one person.
Yep.
To make that difference, but the city of Brockton, we got a lot of hidden gems here in Brockton. The thing is that we don't utilize them. We don't talk about them. The resources don't go to them. And it's just things like that. So, the thing is that I'm here to fight for Brockton, because my kids are all still here in Brockton, even though they're all grown. But my grandkids are here in Brockton also. And if I can make it a better place for my grandkids and my family, we make it a better place for everybody.
So what is it about Ward 3 in Brockton that, said, what, this is a good idea to run for Ward 3 council? Because it's a very interesting part of Brockton.
Well, a lot of times I ran for, until the last election that we just passed, I ran for Ward 3 in that one, and of course in this election here that we're in. Prior to that, I ran for councilor at large. And I'll tell you, it takes a lot to canvass this whole city. This Brockton, if you're walking it, is a lot bigger than driving it. But what happened is I live in Ward 3. And, again, a lot of the councilors, a lot of the elected officials were asking me, Gary, why don't you run for Ward 3? Because we knew that Dennis Ineri was coming up on the end of his tenure there. And but where I started at large, I decided to stay at large. And but basically every time I ran, we have a very big field. One time we had 15 people running, another time 10, 12, things like that. So I decided to actually throw my hat into Ward 3 to run against the former Ward 3 councilor, which was D'Agostino.
Okay.
And when I put my hat into it, D'Agostino basically he said he wanted to spend more time with his family. So I was running unopposed at that point there. And then at the last moment, through some hedging from other people, they took Phil Griffin into running, putting him into the race. And of course, he had some of the powers that be that helped him. And so he became the councilor. But he only won by 124 votes. Our race was actually the closest one in the city. So this time around, this is the rematch.
And every vote counts.
Huh?
Every vote counts.
Every vote counts.
What challenges does Ward 3 have that you believe you can meet head on and for those people in Brockton?
Well, the whole city as a whole, has a lot of problems that affect all the wards. Okay. However, some of the things that I see that have not been happening, but with other councilors, is transparency, which is accessibility, which is accountability. Answer your phone, return your calls, be accountable to those. But the main thing is serve the people. See, there has been no ward councilors. There have been no ward meetings in any of our wards since the last election. And the thing about it is that if God blesses me enough to be successful in this race to be your next Ward 3 councilor, the thing is that the vote that's cast, right, when they call my name in there, how do we vote? It's not Gary Key's vote that counts. It's Ward 3's vote. And the thing is that I plan on having regular ward meetings, okay, to where I can get the majority, get the information, first of all, to the Ward 3 residents, and then see how the majority of them see things. All I can do is advise them to where what a yes vote would do and what a no vote would do. But then whatever the majority of Ward 3 decides that they want, it's the vote that I'm going to carry into City Hall. It will be Ward 3's vote. And I think that right now, a lot of our elected officials have lost that concept of serving the people. I think they believe it's their seat, and it's not. It's the people's seat.
Does any of your military veteran experience being in the Army, carry over into what you do for the people of Brockton, Gary?
I think it does every day because, one, there used to be a commercial one when I was younger that says, the Army does more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day. Okay. And that's always been true in my life. I'm up early. Okay. And I don't quit. I'm never going to quit. until I've exhausted all means. So when there's a situation to where some people might have an A and a B plan, I have an A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P plan. Okay. The thing is that until I've exhausted every mean, I'm going to conquer that hill. And that means that I'm doing it for Ward 3. If they elect me, the thing is that they're putting their trust in me, and I can't let them down by giving them 50%, 70%. They deserve 100%, and most of the time I'm going to give them that even more. Okay, so that's what they're asking for. They're putting their trust in somebody. Give them what they're asking for.
How can people connect with you and your campaign during this time, Gary, as you go and run for this city council position?
Well, first of all, I tell everyone my phone number is 774-257-3827. I do answer my phone each and every call. If I miss the call because I'm on one, I will call you right back. My email is gman, Gman 02301 at yahoo.com. I answer that. And the thing about it is that everyone knows I live right here at 854 Belmont Street. It's public record. Call me, stop by, see me. But see, the difference between myself, Travis, and some of the other ones is that the citizens of Brockton, they see me everywhere. They see me in the supermarkets. They see me in the stores. They see me at the school. They see me picking up my grandkids, things, and I'm known to where I'm stopped no matter where I go. And if someone has a situation, I will take the 5 or 10 minutes to answer their question, to see how we can help. If we can't take care of it right then and there, I don't just shrug it off to somebody else. Okay, I'm going to follow it through. If I have to take them to somebody else to handle it, I go with them to make sure that the pass off is made, not assuming that they went to see a person. I will take them there, and that's what I think that we're missing. We really need to be more involved and put the people first. And I just want to say one other thing. With the problems that we've had in our schools in Brockton, Brockton High School is in Ward 3, the Kennedy School, and South Middle School. These are things to where, even though we have elected officials who are going to be on the school committee, I plan on working with any one of them. I plan on going to the school committee meetings. I plan on going to traffic meetings. I plan on being completely involved all the way around to where you don't just see me at a city council meeting. You're going to see me at all the meetings. And the thing is that because I want to know everything that's going on in our city so I can properly represent as much as I can in every area.
Well, Gary, I want to thank you for coming on the booth and talking with me. I've learned a whole lot. Brockton's a great city, and all of you running are keeping this democratic process going. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, Travis, and thank you for having me.
There you have it, folks. Gary Keith, campaigning for City Council of Ward 3 for the booth. I'm Travis. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to the booth. My name is Travis Partington, filling in for Keith Hayes, who's on assignment during this political campaign season in Brockton, Massachusetts, the city of champions. And I'm joined by another mayoral candidate for mayor, Eugenie Kavanagh. Welcome to the booth. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Travis. Thank you so much for having me at the booth. This is definitely a pleasure.
Absolutely, absolutely. So for all those people out there in Brockton and the surrounding cities and towns in Massachusetts, can we get an idea of who Eugenie is?
Awesome. So I am a mother, a veteran, a licensed social worker, a small business owner supporting the LGBTQ community and faith. I have walked through some of the same challenges many of Brockton faces. I am a resident who's dedicated my life to serving families and strengthening our community.
No, you served in the military, yes?
Yes, 13 and a half years with one combat tour.
No, which branch?
The Army.
The Army?
Yeah.
You're in the Army now. You're not behind a plow. Okay, all right. I'm Marine Corps, so, forgive my levity.
Awesome.
What is your deeper connection to Brockton? It's such a vibrant city that I'm always curious. Thank you.
My connection to Brockton is both personal and professional. I have lived, worked, and raised my family here, experienced firsthand both challenges and the strength of our community. As a mother, I faced homelessness, food insecurity. I was actually housed down here at Father Bill's, and the difficulties of navigating the education system to secure an IEP for a child, also supporting my child's behavioral health needs. The experiences I have shaped my understanding of what many families here in Brockton go through on a daily basis. Professionally, as a social worker, I have served families as a child requiring assistance clinician, that is, those who are being referred by our education system over to our courthouse, as well as a director of social service. I've also supported residents through Brockton Mutual Aid, the Brockton Interfaith Community, and City Life Viva Urbana, worked on issues from education funding to affordable housing and immigration rights. For me, Brockton isn't just where I live, it's a community I've walked side by side in the struggles to continue serving and strengthening.
It appears you've had a lifetime of service and overcoming challenges, both personally and professionally, Eugenia. What prompted you to say, you know what, I want to become mayor of this great city and serve the people in this capacity?
Well, I chose to run for mayor of Brockton because Brockton deserves better leadership that is transparent, accountable, and focused on the real needs of our residents. Too often, there's a lack of transparency inside of our education budget, with constant reallocation, missing funds, and unexplained deficits in the budget. Residents pay taxes but see very little tangible benefits in return. We face a shortage of police officers, proper funding for public safety in our education system, and yet our schools remain unsafe with drugs inside the classrooms and students learning inside the cafeteria. Instead of meaningful investment in behavioral health services, we've seen an increase in marijuana shops. Families experience domestic violence too often and with very little support and acknowledgement or accountability. At the same time, many residents struggle with the lack of safety and affordable homes, leaving working families without stability. As a resident, I've seen voices silenced when they should be included. I am running to change that, to make Brockton safer, more transparent, more affordable, and more responsive to the people it serves, and not just one particular group.
How then? Let's just say you become mayor. How will you serve the people of Brockton, though? It's a wide variety of people and demographics and challenges. What's going to be your main service focus for Brockton?
Oh, it's quite a bit because, again, Brockton needs a lot because we have a lot that we are experiencing. But I believe the service that I will be providing by leadership with transparency, integrity, and humility, just to begin off with, and grounding in deep understanding of the struggles many family faces. That is why I will prioritize clear transparency in our budget to ensure that parents' voices are always part of decision making. I will fight to protect and educate funding within our education system so that every dollar goes towards the improvement of classrooms and students' learning. I will also work on safer streets by supporting our police officers and giving them the resources and the tools that they need, and strengthening our education by expanding behavioral health services, creating safer schools, hiring more educators, and ending the practice of holding classrooms inside of our cafeteria. I will also be removing the red tape at City Hall for small business owners, create local tax incentives to attract investors and support entrepreneurs, especially those that are Brockton residents. And one thing about the homeless population is to use a Chapter 35 as a pilot program to address homelessness and substance use with both dignity and accountability. So what Chapter 35 is, it supports those that are facing substance use, especially at a chronic substance use, and it supports them in providing them with a treatment facility where they are going to be housed within a time frame where it is court involvement, where it is mandated that they go. And one thing is the state law in Massachusetts, it does allow that.
Okay, I thank you for clarifying that. I know Chapter 115 for a lot of reasons, but I don't know Chapter 35. Thank you. You served professionally. You served at a personal level with your military service. But what side of Eugenie do you want people to know that you have something that you want to share that would let people get to know you a little bit better?
Well, what I want people to know is that about me is my leadership is rooted in both lived experience and professional service. Even though I have faced homelessness, food insecurity, and challenges of navigating the school system, the experience that I have shaped my commitment to fighting for families who often feel unseen. Professionally, as a licensed social worker, small business owner, and a 13-year-and-a-half veteran with one combat tour, I have served as a child requiring assistance clinician that's supporting kids that are involved inside the courthouse, as well as I have been invited by Senator Keenan to advocate for the elder community and their resources. In the community, I have helped raise over $50,000, and I was also a treasurer of over $50,000 in managing their funds. I had co-hosted Stand Up Strong on Brockton Community Access, supporting parents and students with individual education plans. I have also organized around education funding, which we now know as the Millionaire's Tax Act. I've also supported in redistricting, affordable housing, and again, served as a treasurer in managing community funds with transparency. I've also stood along those immigrants and those that are on TPS and fighting for equality and inclusion. But above all, I want people to know that I will work to ensure every resident feels safe inside their community and that their taxes are spent in ways that truly represents them, and the City Hall will work for people, not against them. My goal has always been to bring people together, strengthen in our schools, in our neighborhoods, and to make sure that every single resident, no matter what background, has both a voice and a path to opportunities.
How can people connect with you, your campaign, and pitch in, learn more, or support your political campaign, Eugenie?
So my email address is mkavanagh.e@gmail.com. My personal and mayoral phone number is 508-649-7779. You can also check me out on my website at Vote Eugenie Kavanagh, and that's Vote EugeniKavanagh.com. I also am live on Facebook from time to time, but I put out information, especially interviews as well, on my Facebook, and that is Eugenie Kavanagh for Mayor of Brockton.
Well, Eugenie, I want to thank you for coming on the booth and letting me fill in for Keith during this time. I'm certainly people learned a whole lot about you and your political aspirations. We wish you all the best, and thank you again for watching The Booth.
Thank you so much, Travis. Thank you.
All right. Hello, and welcome back to The Booth. I'm Travis, filling in for Keith Hayes while he's on assignment, and I'm talking to political campaign ease in the city of Brockton, and I'm talking to Steve Lainas, who is running for Ward 1 City Councilor for the city of Brockton. Steve, welcome to The Booth.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. It is really great to get to talk to everybody who is running for a campaign in Brockton, and you're no exception. For all the people out there watching The Booth and getting to know you, give us a little bit of a Cliff Notes version of who Steve is.
I was born and raised in Brockton. I'm a homeowner, business owner, property owner, taxpayer. I'm a proud son of Greek immigrants who taught me the value of hard work, community, and service. Brockton's more than where I live. It's where I was raised, educated, and most importantly, Brockton's where I chose to raise my family. I graduated from Brockton High School in 1990, and I earned my bachelor's degree in business management at Bridgewater State College in 1994. I own and operate Legion Parkway Cleaners in downtown Brockton. I've been there for 36 years, since 1989. And being downtown has given me a front row seat to see many of the challenges and opportunities our city faces. In addition to running a small business, I've had the honor of being on the Zoning Board of Appeals for the past 6 years. Gaining firsthand knowledge of the city's development, challenges, and opportunities. And family is at the heart of everything I do.
Yeah.
My wife and I got married 20 years ago, been together 25 years. We raised 4 beautiful children here in Brockton, all went through the Brockton Public Schools. That's pretty much the...
Well, one thing I'm curious about is, you seem to have like a real deep connection to Brockton, and most people grew up in their hometown and leave or move a couple towns over, but you've been in the fabric of Brockton for a while. Where does that connection come from?
Well, I mean, I was born in Brockton Hospital. I went through the Brockton school systems, Brockton High. And when I went to Bridgewater State, I commuted, still lived in Brockton. Bought my first house on the north side of Brockton. And then I've been here at this current house for 15 years now. I've had many opportunities to move my business out of Brockton, and but I believe in Brockton. I love Brockton. A few times I just had to kind of reinvent my business a little bit. I started another. I don't know if you remember Zoots.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Door to door. So I did a version of that. I still have it because I couldn't rely just on customers coming in through the door. And mostly it was the homeless situation. That's kind of one of the main reasons that people don't come downtown. And I think once we get that under control, the downtown area is going to stop booming. With the zoning board, we pass all these great projects, and it's a shame the first thing you see coming into the city is the homeless under the bridge, the trash, the drugs. They're using the streets as toilets. Once we get that under control, like I said, I think you're going to see major improvements downtown.
Was that part of the reason, or the reason you chose to run for Ward 1 councilor, Steve?
So, well, first reason I had a few calls when the rumors were going around that Tom Minicello wasn't going to run. So I had people calling me, telling me to pull papers, and then once I looked into it a little bit and I saw that everybody that's running for Ward 1, nobody really had any experience. So I felt, I should serve my community and step up and run for city council.
And as city councilor, what's on your list of things that you really want to take action for in your ward and by extension the city of Brockton, Steve?
So as I mentioned earlier about the homeless,
yeah,
it did improve my business downtown a little bit when Father Bill's moved from there. But what it did is actually brought it down here on the west side. So Ward 1 is probably about half a mile away from that, and you're seeing a lot of the issues that I had to face. A lot of the homeless hanging out in parking lots, pitching tents in the woods, drug use. It's coming down to this area too. So I just want to make sure that we don't have these problems, the problems that I had on Legion Parkway, down here in Ward 1.
Now, for the voters out there, in Ward 1 and, the Brockton as a whole, what should people see when they get to know you and see your name on the placards, see you out in the town? What do you want people to know about you?
Well, I'm hard work, and you can see us on the zoning board. There's 5 individuals on there to see things differently. We don't always see things the same way. But at the end of the day, if we disagree with something, we respect each other and we move on to the next project. And I think that's very important to be able to work together. Even campaigning now, I'll knock on some doors. I'm an independent, but people, the Democrats will ask me if I'm a Democrat because they don't want a Republican, and Republicans only want to work with other Republicans. So, I was hoping this could kind of be a little bridge between the Democrats and independents and work together and get things accomplished. There was a few Democrats that I knocked on the door that didn't want anything to do with me because I wasn't a Democrat. Same thing with a few Republicans. But I think it's very important to be able to work together and communicate and, improve Brockton.
How can people connect with you and your campaign as you're going through this process, Steve?
So I do have my website, stevelainas.com, and pretty much all the information's on there, my phone number, Facebook, Twitter, actually X, whatever it is now. Pretty much all the information is there. You can find me on Facebook. If you want to stop by my work, I'm always there too. So
absolutely. Well, Steve, I know you're going a mile a minute, and it's a busy time of year, busy time just in general. I want to thank you for coming on the booth and sharing with us about you and your campaign.
No, thank you for the opportunity. It means a lot.
Absolutely. Well, folks, stay here. Stay tuned to the booth for more information coming and more interviews coming up with these candidates. We want to appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, and welcome back to the booth. I am not Keith Hayes. I'm Travis Partington, filling in for Keith Hayes, who is on assignment as he and I cover the Brockton campaigns going on for election in 2025. And I'm joined by candidate for mayor, Richard Reid. Richard, welcome to the booth.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here today.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a great day. Looking forward to talking with you. For people watching the booth in Brockton and in the surrounding towns and area of Massachusetts, could you kind of start off by telling us, about yourself and who you are, please?
Well, that would take us about an hour if we were to cover everything, but we'll try and get it down. I have been married to my wife for 43 years, and I've been a businessman in various industries over the last 42 years. And I have been involved in education, all kinds of different levels. Teacher from 4th grade to 12th grade, a college professor, a trade school teacher, a school administrator, school business manager. And again, I know a couple of those I've been brought in to bring schools that were in debt. So it sounds like something we need here in Brockton to balance a budget. And then I've worked in IT. In the medical and legal fields and education fields for the past, again, 42 years.
Well, there's a lot to unpack there, to be sure, and we'll get to all that here down the road. You have all these things that you've done. What is your connection to Brockton as a whole that would, compel you to serve as mayor?
Well, for the past 17 years, I've been the pastor of North Baptist Church of Brockton, which has been here since 1886. And I just passed the celebration of being the longest serving pastor in that church. And I've done a lot of different volunteer services around Brockton. I'm on the Brockton Library Foundation board. I'm currently the vice president there, but I've also been involved in helping out some churches and nonprofits in providing computer expertise and building training labs for the Nigerian and the Haitian communities that are in Brockton.
So you're doing all this activity stuff, outreach, advocacy, and help for people in Brockton. What was the moment then that said, you know what? I want to be mayor of Brockton, Massachusetts?
Well, I've had about a decade of working in Brockton politics, being an advisor and on boards with the mayors, the last 3 mayors, but also with many city councilors, working with them closely on difficult decisions that need to be made for the operations of the city. A number of years ago, I somehow became the face of the opposition to having the casino built here in Brockton. It was purely accidental, but I took upon myself, I say, that role to help out. And again, like many people, it's easy to find faults with things that are happening in your city. It's harder to be someone that's going to offer solutions to maybe not fix all of the problems, but to fix some of them.
Yeah.
And so a few months ago, I pulled papers to be Ward 7 city councilor, because that's my ward, and mayor at the same time, because I hadn't decided. But after I talked to people around the city, I got the sense that getting my message out would be best done as being the mayor, and hopefully we can make some change to things that are happening in Brockton.
So let's say you become mayor of Brockton. How will you choose to serve this city with a diverse population across several different demographics, the history, and the future of Brockton, Richard?
Well, I go back to the Constitution. It starts with we the people, and we need to do that with the people of Brockton. Elected officials are employed by the people, the voters of Brockton. And I'm a constitutionalist. I believe that's how we need to run our city as well. And it does not matter where a person is from. I too am an immigrant to this country. I came just across the border from the north. I'm from Canada, but now I'm a U.S. citizen. And even some of my immediate family goes like, "Why would you ever do that?" And because I want to give back. When I came to Brockton, the first thing I decided is that if I'm ever moved from Brockton, I want to leave it a better place than I found it. And so it's the people that, live here, that vote here. We need to work for them. We need to solve the problems that they are experiencing so that they have a better quality of life.
What else then do you want to know about, let me say that again. What else do you want people to know about you, the person? You've done all these things at a professional level, but what would you share with somebody about, who Richard is at the core?
Well, he's a finisher.
Yeah.
When I start, I finish. I've taken interns under my wing so I could train the next generation of IT workers. I have, let's say, even if it's going back and doing old manual labor, fixing somebody's roof, it's like it's got to be done. Get it done. Finish the job. That is just so critical for anybody that's here in leadership in Brockton, and particularly in the mayor's office, because people look to the mayor to guide us through the trials and tribulations that we go through in our day-to-day lives. They may not be our spiritual leader, but this is an opportunity to have one of the pastors of Brockton to bring that aspect into the operations and running of the city.
Well, thank you very much, Richard. How can people connect with you and your campaign to find out more and support you and just be involved?
Well, on Facebook, the Committee to Elect Richard Reid, that page is available. On the browser, you can go to http://committee-to-elect-richard-reid.com, and then they can just email me at rdrconsult@gmail.com. And I'm glad to answer any type of question that's out there. There's no question that's too hard. If I don't know the answer, I'll say I don't know, but I'm going to go find out what the answer and the best answer is for you.
Absolutely. Richard, I want to thank you for coming on the booth. Again, we are doing this special series about political candidates running for office in Brockton, Massachusetts for 2025. We want to thank you for joining us. Richard, all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to The Booth on Hoobazoo and HatcherRadio.com. Please follow the Facebook page and subscribe to the podcast at Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. The Booth is a Sinister One production hosted by Sinister One.
I've got to start hanging out with friends that are a little more intelligent and understand politics and stuff. It's just that I'm up on this level up here, and all my friends are down here. Me, nah. You guys, nah. Maybe a little more down in here. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I smoke, I drink, I do my thing. These bitches hating, so you know I got to make it plain. Don't do cocaine with your chick, my main. We stick together, true forever, yeah, you know we bang. I miss those days, which was easy. If only I make it, keep this shit on repeat. Now that I done upgraded, I've been upstate, and y'all think I'm playing. And I got a hit now for these weak ass hoes who think I ain't slaying. Try me, and I'll probably end up laughing, cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass whip, I don't need that shit, I got my own now. I get hard, I get tired of fussing, fighting, guess I gotta crack down. Don't mess with me, cause on everything, I'ma have to bring the whole city out.
WHOOBAZOO, that's Hoobazoo.com.
Enter website, enter website, enter website, enter website.